Well, I wasn't planning on doing another one of these tonight, but no internet, no cable, no TV, nothing. Pretty bored. Uh, I even tried being productive and working on my first introductory lesson plan, but I can't even do that because there's no internet. And so my last video ended on a bit of a sour note, but some things happened since then. It's been I don't know, an hour and a half or so since I made the last video, or maybe a little bit more, maybe like 2 hours. And in that time, someone came and gave me light bulbs. Not only did they give me light bulbs, they showed me how to operate the thermostat. And by the way, in case you didn't know, Korea's thermostat or Korea's heating system is not central air. It's I think heated pipes or coils in the ground or in the floor. So um, aside from the thermostat being in total Korean, and I'm not really fluent with the I don't know the lingo on the thermostat. Aside from that, there was no indication or feedback for me to know whether or not I've activated the heating system. So this gentleman was kind enough to turn that on after giving me some lights. So that was a nice turn of events. And then my co-teacher came back, like she said she would. I was thinking for some reason that she might forget or something, but she came back and gave me some blankets and a sheet to cover that nasty ass mattress that I picked up. And so now I feel a lot better about going to sleep here tonight. And then she took me out to get a cord for my washing machine. Where it's currently situated, the cable just isn't long enough to reach the water hose. So we got a cable to fix that. But unfortunately, we also should have gotten an extension cable because it doesn't reach the power. But I've noticed this since being in Korea. The Korean people are very kind, and so I've been showing my kindness around here, and it's been getting, and I've been receiving kindness in turn. I think it's a full circle kind of thing. Um, I have noticed that unless I'm speaking Korean or making an effort to at least try to speak Korean, that the people here aren't as kind. So I do plan on kicking up my Korean studies once I get some internet so I can go back to my websites. I want to talk about the flight over 14 hours. I was actually making a video about this and it was almost done, but then the co-teacher came and then helped me out. We took care of things. Basically, it was a total flying time was maybe 15 and a half hours. It was an hour and a half or so to Chicago O'Hare, and then I had about 30 minutes to go from my terminal there at Chicago O'Hare to the international terminal and book my ticket, and then go through security, and then get to my flight. Uh, it's kind of funny. There's an hour layover, but I only had about 20 minutes to get to where I needed to go to catch that flight. Crazy stuff. I flew Asiana Air from O'Hare to Incheon International. That was like 14 hours. We did not fly over the Pacific Ocean. We flew up through Canada and then over the Arctic Circle, down through Siberia and into Korea. Siberia, but before I get to that, Canada is a huge country. It's really big going this way. And going that way too. It's the same width as America, basically. United States, I mean. Siberia is even bigger than that, and China is no joke either. Speaking of Siberia, though, flying over the Chursagu Mountains, I think that's how it's pronounced. Open up the little blind, the window blinds, and you look out there and you see nothing but snow-covered mountains for as far as you can see in every direction, like something out of a fantasy tale or something. It was pretty awesome being able to witness the beauty of this planet from up high like that. Incredible. The service on Asiana Air was great. I think it was great. I don't have other experience flying international airlines, except for Hawaii, but that's not really international since I was coming from the U.S. But the hostesses and host, they were all from different countries, not just a bunch of Koreans doing it. So that was interesting. And I also found it interesting that like my first sight of like Korean employees, I guess, like working, were these hostesses, and they looked like court maidens from a period drama. Like if you watch one of those Joseon Dynasty era K dramas, like these hostesses had that kind of vibe. It's very interesting. Getting to the airport or arriving in Incheon International, I'd say O'Hare Airport is a bit more hip than the Incheon Airport, but the Incheon Airport looks so modern. It looks so clean. It's very respectable in its own right. I'm not sure it's the most interesting airport to visit, but it certainly was quite an experience. Once you come out into the terminal where people can pick you up, there's guys there to help lost people like me find where I'm trying to go. So one of these guys sends me to the end of the airport where Epic is, and I get there and find my coordinator, Emily Park. And then I see this amazingly beautiful Korean girl that looks a lot like Yuri from Girls' Generation. But I'll talk about that more in another video. So, 14 hours or 15 hours flying or so, and then after that we get on a bus to take us to the Epic orientation site, which was in Daegu. I think it's like 2 hours southeast of Seoul. So then, sitting down again, riding a bus, kind of painful. It's like 2.5 or 3 hours. So that was basically my first day. My first, I guess it was more than 24 hours. Now that I look back on it. So I wanted to share that. Not the most interesting video blog. Oh, I thought I should mention that I fried my power strip. It was smoking, like exploded, plugged it in using a transformer. I was trying to make it not suck because I plugged it in on low and it kept on flicking on and off and it was messing with my computer. So I plugged it in on high like a dumbass and it exploded. Luckily though, my Apple charger did not explode with it, as that was one of the two things plugged into it. So thankfully I'm not completely screwed because Korea is not an Apple-friendly country. You will not find many Apple stores here. Anyway, I think that's about it for this video. The next video I make, I'm going to talk about the experience at the Epic orientation and that girl that I mentioned earlier. So, annyeong.